Hi YouTube, Brian James at Micro Four Thirds Guy with you once again. And yes, it's been some time since I was last on the channel. I'm sorry about the break. It's been a busy time. Oh, I've just had a little bing there from my dash cam. Don't know why. Never mind. It's been a bit of a follow time videos wise, and it's not a deliberate ploy. It's just been something which has happened. I've spent a lot of time with my colleague Pete, whose name I'm still not giving out except for the people who actually helped him a little bit. That's actually part of it as well, to tell you the truth. Why have I not been doing videos? Well, partly because I've been spent a lot of time with Pete, who's been doing all sorts of bits and pieces, he was living in his van. We think we've got him a flat sorted out. We're not totally sure about that, but that'll get him off the van life on there. But I am so indebted to the people who assisted me with the thing with Pete. As I say, Pete, I'm not going to tell you his real name. The people who have helped him along the way, I've been telling him what his real name is. I'm going to get him on to do a short video himself. He wants to come on and say thank you to everybody, which is great because he's a very genuine guy, and we've managed to get him some heat and some warmth and things. But as I say, we might have a flat sorted out for him. We're in the process of that at the moment. So we're taking somebody who's been homeless for 18 months and hopefully got them a home, and partly down to you that's happened. And one of the good things is I was really inspired by some of the responses I got for that video. I was also a little bit disillusioned though. I had 4 people unsubscribe when I put the video up, and that I can't understand why. I can't understand the logic why. It was obvious it was a one-off video. It wasn't going to be a series of videos, because obviously that's the way it is. But Pete is going to get on and do a small video in the very near future to say thank you to everybody who's helped. But I was rather disillusioned that when you're asking people just to give a little bit of assistance with somebody who's really struggling in life, that you get 3 or 4 unsubscribe from the channel for it. I'm not really worried about it, because it just shows them to be rather shallow people. The people who didn't unsubscribe maybe still didn't like the video, but they had enough common sense or reasoning to realise that that wasn't the normal channel content. But you never know. People are people. You see, I'm still struggling with this lack of teeth. So this is going to be the state until November, when I go back to Cyprus again to get them done. It's going to be real hell. 3 weeks in Cyprus on my own, all inclusive. Of course, I won't be drinking because it's medicinal. The only drink I will have, the only alcohol I will have will be medicinal alcohol. So it'll be medicinal pina colada, medicinal brandy sours, medicinal tequila sunrise. You know, you get the idea. It's going to be hell. It really is going to be hell for me. Just don't worry about it. I'll suffer for 3 weeks all inclusive in Cyprus in November, December time. But that brings me on to why I haven't been on here recently. And it's partly because of those things I've said, but also partly because I've somewhat lost my mojo. And this has happened to me before. It happened to me last year. I lost my mojo at the beginning of last year. But this has been different. I just haven't enjoyed looking at the gear. This channel has become very much a gear-orientated channel, and in some ways it really is good. That gets the views up, and obviously that does help me to survive because it brings some of the income in. But I've gone through all my gear, and I realised that I'm not really getting a kick out of reviewing anything new. Some of the things that I've reviewed which have been known to be fabulous, the 60mm macro lens, for instance, was great from Paul, and the gear that I borrowed from Trevor to review were absolutely fantastic. But none of it's particularly float my boat to go out and buy some new gear. And I've pretty much got to the point where I've said to myself, no, not allowed. Not allowed to go looking in camera shops, not allowed to go buy new gear. Because every time I get some new gear to play with, I look at the photographs coming out of it and I think to myself, well, yes, these are nice. These really are good. But they're not really any better than what I've been able to do for the rest of my life. There's all sorts of facilities on these things. There's all sorts of great bits and pieces, but the photographs that I'm doing aren't being changed dramatically by a new lens or a new camera. And I did take my GX8 across to Cyprus with me this time. I did a video which was up there somewhere. You'll find a link. And on that, I did say what a fantastic camera it was. Now that's a camera from 2016. It's what, 7 years old now, and it gave me everything I needed. So why do I want to be buying any new gear? Why do I want to be looking at anything? And in truth, I don't. Most of the prime lenses that I've got I really like. Yeah, there are shortcomings on some of them. Somebody said about the inherent softness of the 17mm on one of the reviews I did. Somebody sent me that message today. And yes, it may have an inherent softness, but compared to what we're getting in the film days, I think everything's over sharpened these days. I actually find that things are so sharp, they are almost false. So for an enjoyable photograph, an enjoyable image, I'm not getting any real advantages. And if I look back to my photo days when I had an Olympus OM1, which was fully manual, which had 36 exposures maximum in the camera, and you get all these things, all these limitations, but I still took some photographs which I look back now 45-50 years back to when I got the camera itself. I'm still very proud of those photographs. I still enjoy the images that I took on those, and I don't really think that I've bettered them over these years. Yes, I've got sharper, I've got the ability to do straightforward in camera editing, certainly software editing, which wasn't around in those days. I've got the ability to put them on the various different media, whether it be a TV screen, whether it be a social media account, whether it be onto a picture view or whatever it is, or even, my goodness, how dare we suggest such a thing, to print it. Goodness, can you remember the days when we used to print photographs? Fabulous. But I'm not finding that I get any more enjoyment out of the gear now than I did then. And I've been wondering now for the last couple of days with this. This is my little GX1. I'll just get the strap out of the way. My little GX1. It's a bit close for you to see there. No EVF on it, just the back. And this is the camera that I bought for next to nothing when I got into Micro Four Thirds, because I wanted the lens off it. So the camera was effectively a throwaway item for me. It was the lens I was after. But I've been really enjoying it. I've got the 12-60 f3.5 to 5.6 Lumix lens on the front there. You can see that G Vario one, and it's not too bad. It's not pocket sized with this lens on, but if you stick the little 12-32 on, it certainly is incredibly pocket sized. It'll do video. I think it actually does it do 4K? I don't think it does 4K. I think it's 1080p maximum. I did a review on this a couple of years ago. I'll put a link above. But this has been really enjoyable. I've been going out taking some photographs on this and thoroughly enjoying myself. And think to myself, well, the images I'm getting, I'm really enjoying. The process of taking the photographs, I'm really enjoying. So why am I looking towards new gear all the time? Have I just become trapped into that gear acquisition syndrome? I think maybe I have. And I think what prompted me on this was getting the G1 just before Christmas. The little 12 megapixel G1. That is a little bit too basic for me. It really is. It feels very plasticky. This GX1 doesn't. It feels very solid in the hand. But the G1 does feel a bit plastic and a bit toy-like, but it's very effective and it takes some fantastic photographs. And it made me start thinking, do I really want the new gear? Then of course I did the comparison video between the 12, 16 and 20 megapixel sensors with using the G1 and the EM1 Mark 1 and EM1 Mark 2. And the conclusions there sort of, to me, very much said that I don't need the high megapixel count and I don't need all the bits and pieces, all the whistles and bells. So I think when it comes down to this, I need to try and get my mojo back to doing gear reviews. And I will do a few gear reviews as time goes on, because there will be some things which are going to float my boat. And of course, if somebody has something which they offer me and say, would you like to try it and do a review on it, I would quite happily do that. But it has sort of curtailed my interest in buying any new gear. And what am I actually gaining for the difference in price over what I've already got? Image quality wise, and photography wise, what I'm actually gaining. And anything I do gain is greatly negated by the difference in price. Even when trading it into somebody, a camera in for it against the new one. There's always a big difference between the two. So what do you think? Do you think that I'm going off on the wrong foot by cutting down the amount of gear reviews, my interest in gear? Or do you think that this is the right way to take the channel forward? I know that I'm going to lose views because the easy instant way to get high views and high income from it is to do gear reviews, and to do gear reviews on popular things. But I'm more interested at the moment in doing the channel because of the photographic side. And I'd be very, very interested to know what you think below. Please let me know on that. And look out for more videos, because I will be doing some more videos in the near future. But as I say, at the moment, I'm just undecided on which direction to go. I'm open to your comments. Till the next time, this is Brian James at Micro Four Thirds Guy saying, keep on taking your camera out, keep on having fun with your photography. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.